Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Young Black. Uh, I just felt like making a video. Not really much going on in the gaming world right now. It's a big drought. So you guys should be going back and playing some titles. Maybe you beat through only once. Maybe play something you beat and play it over again. Go back and maybe up the difficulty, play it over again. I don't know, something. There's a lot of good games out right now. A lot of them I haven't played yet. Some of them I still need to go pick up. Some of them I have. I might have beat them once, and maybe I need to go back and beat them again. There are still games coming out. They're just not, those AAA fucking 5-star titles. It's just those aren't coming out. We got mostly all of those already for this year. There's still a couple left. Like we still got Call of Duty, which doesn't mean crap to me. I'm not gonna buy that. Battlefield, I'm gonna get. Battlefield looks like the reboot of the military shooter franchise. I'm excited about Battlefield. I haven't been excited to play a military shooter in a long time, but I'm pretty excited about Battlefield, because it looks like they're gonna change it up, and make it either, I don't know if you could say more realistic. I just like the style of that game better, and it just seems more realistic in the way the game looks to me. Not per se the way it plays, because Call of Duty and Battlefield are basically the same type of game. You just point and shoot at everything, throw some grenades, do probably a couple vehicle scenes or something like that. It's not going to be that much when it comes to differences in gameplay, but the way Battlefield looks, the way the stages look, like the environments, they nailed that on the head. Like it looks like people really live there, and that's what I like about that game better than Call of Duty. Something about Call of Duty to me, maybe because I've been seeing those games for a long time, and it used to be one of my favorite games when the 360 first came out. That was like the big thing for 360, the Call of Duty. What was it? Call of Duty 2, I think it was, or regular Call of Duty. I forgot what it was. I think it was Call of Duty 2 when it was on World War II, when they had the History Channel involved in the game. That was the best Call of Duties to me. Have a little brain fart, so if I don't get everything right, you gotta forgive me. But a couple things I just wanted to talk about. I've been watching some YouTube videos lately because ain't really nothing happening in the gaming news world. So I've been just, skimming through YouTube videos, seeing what everybody else is doing during the drought. And I just been coming across a lot of people complaining about Capcom making second versions of their titles that they released already, with updated character balance and all that type of shit, updated character rosters, and they just add a couple of new characters. One of the games everybody was talking about was Super Street Fighter 4, and then Capcom recently released Super Street Fighter Arcade Edition, and I just felt like making a video about this because I don't think anybody should be complaining about anything that Capcom does, because they're legendary. Like, come on, there would be no 2D fighting genre left alive if it wasn't for Capcom. Like, I've been watching videos on this guy. Check out his page. I like him, but sometimes he's blowing a lot of steam, and he's really hyper. Sometimes that's cool, and sometimes he's like too hyper for me. Like, everybody doesn't feel like dealing with that personality all day, every day, in every video. But he is like that in every video. Like, he's just off the hook hype. I mean, he is just over the top. I mean, he's over the top like wrestling, WWE over the top character. And you could tell he watches wrestling. He's a wrestling fan, and you could tell by the way he acts that he's just real over the top and really dramatized, with some of the stuff that some of the stuff that he reviews and talks about. He kind of reminds me of Freakazoid, like how Freakazoid was just crazy. He would do crazy shit. The old school cartoon Freakazoid, Steven Spielberg joint. Kind of reminds me of that character. I don't know why, but he's a cool dude. I like his videos. I just don't agree with everything he says. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and what he's basically saying is that. By the way, the guy's name is Zobe70. So check out his page, Zobe70, ZOBE70. What he's saying is that Capcom is basically dead. They're basically raping their fans by releasing the same game twice and just adding more characters and putting like a $40 or $30 price tag on it, after they released a regular version, like how this had regular Super Street Fighter 4. Well, actually, this is the third version of this game if you want to be technical, because they had Street Fighter 4, then they had Super Street Fighter 4, right, where they added a couple more characters. Now they got Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. Now, if you look through the history of Capcom, they've done it. They've done this before with every other Street Fighter game they've made, even the originals. They were Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. Like they've been doing this. This is nothing new. It's just that back in the days it was being done in arcades, and you could just go and just put a quarter in the machine, and people really didn't care about. Okay, well this is a newer version of the old arcade I used to play. It's not like they're gonna charge me 35 cents instead of 25 cents to play it because there's more characters or something. It's like they're gonna up it to make it more money. Now you gotta go spend $60 on a game, right? And then you start off playing with a couple of characters, and then they release either DLC or a whole new disc form of the same game, charge you over again, and then they might even release a DLC pack to give you the stuff for your old disc, so you don't have to go buy the whole disc, and they make that cheaper. Like you don't have to go buy this. You can go keep your copy of Super Street Fighter 4, and then go on the PSN or the Xbox Live and just spend $14.99 and get an update kit, and it'll update your regular what is it, your data file on your PlayStation or your Xbox, so that it'll run this version of the game without actually having this version of the game. You just put your old copy of Super Street Fighter 4 in, it'll give you all the updates, which is cool too, and it's only $14.99. So instead of having to pay, I went and traded in my original copy of Super Street Fighter 4, and I got $10 for that or $11 for that store credit. And then I bought this for $39.99, so I got this for $30. You know, and to me, it's worth it. I always support the companies because I don't just buy any game. You know what I mean? These games cost a lot of money. I don't just be buying any game. You know, and Capcom is a company that's worth supporting. They're like what Michael Jordan is to basketball, Capcom is to 2D fighting games. To me, I don't know if that's maybe too big of a statement for some of you guys, but to me it is. Unless you know another 2D fighting game that's as big as Street Fighter, nothing. There are 2D fighting games out there that are maybe gameplay and technically wise are just as good as Street Fighter. But something about Street Fighter is just classic. It's been around the longest. If it wasn't for this game, other companies wouldn't take the risk in making 2D fighters anymore. You know what I mean? So you gotta respect Capcom. You gotta support Capcom if you play 2D fighters. You can't be a fan of Street Fighter and then all of a sudden now you get older and you say, oh, they're ripping us off. I shouldn't have to buy a version of a game that's not complete. To me, they are complete versions. Just that they make the complete version of the game and they try to make it a little better, add more stuff. And they can't give that to us for free. So they're gonna charge us for it. But anyway, what Zobi70 was saying was that he thinks Tecmo, Bandai, is gonna be the new fighting game company to make all the good fighting games. You know, they make Dragon Ball Z, and they make Naruto games. I'm a fan of the Dragon Ball Z games. I'm a fan of the Naruto games. My favorite Dragon Ball Z fighting game is Tenkaichi Dragon Ball Z Budokai. I think it's called Tenkaichi 3. I have it for the Wii. That's the best version of it. They also have it for PlayStation 2, I believe. Yeah, PlayStation 2. But they also have a version of it for the Wii that is the best version of the game. And he just thinks that company is going to be the new company to make the best fighting games, and he's just out of his mind. There's no way in hell that Tecmo Bandai, okay, is going to outshine Street Fighter or Marvel vs. Capcom, for that matter, when it comes to the fighting genre. You know, he wasn't talking about Street. He was talking about Marvel vs. Capcom 3. In his video, and that's what made me want to make a video about this in general, you know, because he was saying that, oh, this game came out, and it's a horrible game, it's incomplete, a lot of people don't like this game, you know, I love this game, and I love Marvel vs. Capcom 2 also. Thing about Marvel vs. Capcom 2, though, to me, going off topic, which I always do if you guys know my videos, thing about Marvel vs. Capcom 2 to me is, the game is a perfect fighting game. It's a perfect um, what do you call them? Versus fighting game. It's the best one they've ever made. What is it? Capcom versus SNK 3 is also a very good one. But everybody loves Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's legendary. It's arcade classic. There's been arenas full of people watching people on stage in tournaments play it. You know, yeah, I understand how people love that game. Now, this game is not that game. This game is a easier version of that same battle system, but it's easier to play. A lot of people are complaining about that because the skill level needed to play this game is really, really low. So you can be an expert in this game and get beat by somebody who doesn't know much because it just doesn't take that much skill to play. In Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I couldn't even play with all the characters because learning how to use them was totally different. Every character was so different, but that's what made the game so fun though, that complexity. You know, but this game is just as fun. It's just not as complex as Marvel vs. Capcom 2. You know what I mean? So that doesn't make this a bad game. It just makes this a more lenient game. It makes it a little bit easier for people who might be a little skeptical about picking up a 2E fighter. It makes it fun for everyone. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think, like I say all the time, a lot of gamers are jaded and got to understand that the industry is changing. You understand? So I'm not mad at Capcom for this game at all, and I'm not mad at Zobi for saying what he's saying because I can understand that too. But to me, he's not really a Capcom fan if he's willing to just turncoat like that. Because I don't know about y'all, but once I love something, I love something. I'm not no, I love it now and then tomorrow I don't. If I love something, I love something. Because it's hard for me to find stuff I really like that much. Capcom is one of them companies that I like that much. They've been with me since I was younger. They've been with all of us who are gamers since we were younger. You know what I mean? So I'm not a turncoat. Like I love Capcom. I love PlayStation. I always will. Okay, until they do something stupid, real crazy, off the wall. It'd have to be crazy for me to not love these guys, this company. But Zobi was saying that this game is an incomplete game. They're releasing, if you don't know, guys, they're releasing Ultimate Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I wish. That's probably going to be next. They probably will make a new Mortal Kombat with more characters and leave everything exactly the same. But they're going to make Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, right? And they're adding 8 new stages, right? And they're adding 12 new characters. And they announced some of them already, which is Ghost Rider, Firebrand from the Ghouls and Ghosts series, which is like, okay, I'm not really into Firebrand. Ghost Rider looks insane. Go check some videos out for that. Hawkeye, and there was another character too. I can't remember who it was. Oh, Strider. So you got Ghost Rider, Firebrand, Hawkeye, and Strider. Strider is amazingly fast. He plays just like the Strider that we would think from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I bet he's going to be a lot more simpler to use though, because all the characters in this game are pretty simple to use. But he used to say this was an incomplete game and how they were ripping us off and that they're going to charge us $40 to go get this game. It has add-on content on here, so I'm expecting they're going to have an update. Like you can just go download the whole new Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 update and just get all the new stuff that way without having to go out your house. But they are going to release it in a disc form too, so that just like this version, just like this, you'll be able to go and purchase Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trade this one in, and I'm going to get the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 when it does come out. And it's going to be worth it. Like, come on, this game is not a bad game. This is a bad game to all you guys out there that loved Marvel vs. Capcom 2 so much because it was so complicated that when you and a friend picked up the controller, you felt dominant and confident that you would win all the time. And now they basically erased all of that and everybody has to start from scratch and learn how to be dominant in this game all over again, in this genre all over again. You know, to me, it's genre defying, this game. There's no versus game out there like this. I mean, now you got the guys from Namco Bandai talking about they're going to be the best. They're even bandwagoning to me with Capcom. They're making Street Fighter cross Tekken. Street Fighter doesn't need to make another cross game. I mean, a versus series game, another one. I mean, Capcom is living large off of these 2 games right here, right now, easily across the country, across the world. You know what I mean? So they don't need to do that. So to me, Tekken needs that more than Capcom does. You know, Namco needs that more than Capcom.